Hello, Nick here. Nope, sorry, I did not get a new radio. I've had these radios for a long, long time. These two radios I bought maybe 12, 15 years ago off eBay. And then this radio I actually bought brand new in 1999 at the Farm and Fleet store in Woodstock, Illinois. And I was in there looking for a high lift jack, believe it or not. And I'm just walking around the store and there's a row of electronic stuff where the shelves were literally barren, but there was a box and it said GE Super Radio. And to tell you the truth, at the time, I didn't even really know what that was. And I'm like, damn, that thing looks pretty cool. And it was not expensive at all. It was, I want to say it was $39, $49, $59, something like that. Yeah, brand new, in the box. Anyway, bought it. So after I started getting back, after that I moved back to Texas and I started getting back interested in radios again. My interests are cyclic, right? You know, I get interested in something and then I go to something else, or I go to something within this, like radios. So you got portable radios, tabletop radios, you know, shortwave radios, maybe ham radios. That wears out pretty quick though. And then it comes back to portable radios, you know, so it's like a big circle. Anyway. So in case you don't know, these are GE Super Radios. There's three of them. Super Radio 1, Super Radio 2, Super Radio 3. And they're just medium wave AM and then FM. So they're broadcast band radios. And that's it. No short wave, no long wave, nothing like that. And I'm not a professional on these. I'm not a historian. What I know, I learned from the great Radio J. Allen. If you don't know who he is, you need to shut this video off right now. Go to the web and go to find his website, radiojallen.com, something like that. And then spend 5 or 6 hours watching every single video he's ever made. And then he'll tell you more than the guy who owns GE at the time could have told you about any of these radios. Okay? So go watch Radio J Allen. And, and then this video today, I hope I'm not disappointing anybody. It's not going to be an in-depth shootout comparison to tell you which one is better than the other for one simple reason. I don't know the background and history, although all three radios appear to be working perfectly, and there are differences in them, and we will see some of that. I can't guarantee you that one of them is not factory spec, right? So if you got a weak or leaky capacitor, and I don't even know if that's the right term, but that could seriously affect the performance of a radio, and it would be unfair to say that this radio is better than this one or vice versa, because one of them might not be literally 100% factory spec. And for me, there's no way to know. I'm not like I said, I'm not an electrical engineer or anything like that. So, but you can find out a lot more about them on Radio J. Allen's website. And I don't think I've ever seen a YouTube video that had all three radios, all three super radios in the same video. And we can compare the differences between them. And then, you know, of course, we're going to be playing them. And we'll see, let me scoot in. We'll see, you know, like, you know, at least with my samples, which ones are a little different, possibly better than the others. But again, like I said, I can't guarantee that they're factory spec, right? Which has a lot to do with it. So you always have to take any radio shootout, even the ones I do, with a grain of salt, because who knows the history of them, right? Anyway, this is just, again, this is a hobby. I like radios. People probably think I'm a freak. Look at, I mean, these radios, I bought this one for like $49 or $59, okay? Then I turn around and buy a Watkin Johnson 8711 or, God forbid, an ICOM 9500, and I enjoy them all. I enjoy all of them. I like radios. And then my interest, like I said, it's cyclic. I'll be interested in inexpensive portables, and then I'll be interested in different version tabletops or whatever. Today, I don't know, I woke up this morning and I'm like, let me go blow the dust, and literally had to blow the dust off of them. They were sitting on a shelf, and blow the dust off of them and put batteries in them and see if they even still work. They do. Truth be told, this one, when I tuned it on AM, it was making big every time the dial would move and get close to a station. And so, again, I'm not an electrical engineer, but I'm thinking the variable tuning capacitor, you know, the ones where the fingers mesh with each other like this, I'm thinking it's dirty, right? There's dust in there. At least that's what I've read on the line. And so I broke out the screwdriver and took it apart, took the back off, figured out how to take it apart without ruining the power switch. That's a chore. I had to figure that out. It wasn't hard. Now that I know how to do it, I could do it blindfolded. But at first, no, you had to figure it out. But I got it out. I took the can air duster, blew out the veins of that tuning capacitor. And then while I had it open, I deoxed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I drizzled some deox in the power switch, and I drizzled some deox down the shaft of this, although I don't think that did anything other than lubricate it. I don't think there's anything going on back there behind that knob. And you'll see it now. I mean, it's working as well as any of the other ones. So all right, so I guess I'll talk about my initial observations. All right, so these two are supposed to be significantly better than this one. So like if you look at Radio J. Allen's website, like he's got, like he rates AM broadcast radios, and these have the highest rating. And then this one is like half a star below. I don't have the time or patience to test that, because on a radio like this, for AM, it's got a ferrite bar antenna. The only way to find a signal or tune in a signal correctly is to move the whole radio. And it's like, oh my God. It's like, for me, it's kind of a beatdown, all right? If you wanted to do a detailed comparison. And I'm like, I don't think I have the patience. So I just trust what he says and then go by what he says, all right? But since I'm kind of a collector, I just buy all three anyway. But if you'll notice, this has one big speaker. This one has a little tweeter up there, okay? On FM, even on AM, I noticed that the sound quality out of this one is noticeably better than the sound quality out of this one. I'm talking about like the bass and treble being adjusted, and I'm not talking about the power, all right? I'm talking about the sound quality. And this one is great too. This one's got a little tweeter up there. You can see it. Now this one also has a wide and narrow band, okay? And apparently it works in both AM and FM. So maybe instead of being an actual bandwidth switch, it might be more of a loudness control. But whatever it is, it actually works, all right? And it gives a full room-filling sound. So this one probably actually sounds the best out of all three. This one sounds noticeably better than this one. Not that this one sucks, okay? This one's fine. So, hey, let's start. I'm gonna have to zoom in and only look one time because I can't get close enough to them to touch the switches.
Gifts at all, it's for the kids and
Power
kids only.
switch.
When I'm president of the United States, that's gonna be my First Amendment.
Did he announce his candidacy the
We're
other day?
on,
Okay.
if the switch is up, we're on FM,
You know,
AM.
then I get online and I start seeing
Volume control, nice and
a lot
clean.
of green, but I don't know if you can go through with it,
Yeah.
right? A lot of pressure there.
I mean, I think if there's an agreement that, hey, we're just not getting each other anything this year, you still have to get something.
You better do something. When they say, especially female, I don't need anything. Boy, if you come up with nothing,
Yeah.
that's what you're getting.
Well, and,
Good
and I've got
advice.
the unfortunate caveat that Steph's birthday is the 28th, and so I get Christmas and birthday back to back. And now I could probably get away with the agreement if we're not getting each other anything for Christmas. But
Birthday, you better.
I better at least get something. For
Dial
the
alignment.
birthday,
This is
right?
96.7
I heard
FM.
that women
Dial alignment,
their
very
birthday
nice.
ahead of Christmas and ahead of
Lunch in the club.
Whoa.
I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
With football season heating up, football and Fireball is a match made in heaven. And by heaven, of course we mean Twin Peaks. Head over to your favorite lodge and spice things up next game day with a shot of our favorite cinnamon whiskey.
This is 105.3 FM. Dial alignment, pretty nice.
Frankel, if you've been injured in a car or truck wreck, call Frankel first. 214
The sound,
817-3333.
maybe, I don't know, could deoxing these switches make this sound that much better?
Dallas. Breaking.
And I really try to be.
Just a moment. It's the.
I don't know. This one's actually on AM.
And I
FM,
Balance. Full on.
yeah, it can be a bag over the head,
all right.
punch in the face.
FM 96.7, dial alignment, not as good as the other two, notice.
I haven't seen the malls all that busy. I think online shopping is, I mean, I'm not giving anybody any inside information.
No,
Normal or
I wonder-
narrow?
You have a better chance of getting online anyway
Why?
than going in a store and seeing the shelves all empty.
Well, and now, I mean, really, all you need's
GE2.
no more than, I mean,
Meaning all 100
Still,
senators
GE2 sounds
are on
better.
board. This
if you're ordering online, you better do it, 10 days,
Sure,
14
just
days
to be
in
safe.
advance. Yeah, but most places now, especially if you spend enough, they usually throw in the complimentary 2-day shipping or whatever, where it's not going to take 2 weeks. But I bet the Amazon.
Yeah, so, I mean, yes, I did just deox these switches. Maybe that makes a difference. I don't know, but I'm looking at a nice big ass tweeter sitting right there. So, yeah, okay. Yeah. And then this radio, I mean, I bought it brand new and I don't think it's got 4 hours of total use on it since I bought it. Okay, I'm not the kind of guy that would just turn it on and leave it on, maybe in a workshop or something like that. It's like, I bought it, I played with it a bunch of times, and then in the last 10 years, I can't even remember the last time I used it. But would the switches and controls get bad after basically only a few hours of use? I don't know, maybe the contacts corrode or whatever, but it's not, the switches aren't dirty. See, they're not crackling.
The issue we have on the ways now, people just get so distracted by their phones. I think there's a lot of people.
But
Phone.
anyway, all right, so let's go, and then we'll try them in AM now. And notice they only had their antennas they were just stood up. So they're completely folded, all of the radios. So the antennas are not extended, they're just stood up. And they're getting the FM signals nicely. All right, so let's flip it down to AM.
You do that a lot?
No, they're all facing slightly differently, right? So the two on the ends are kind of like this, and the one in the middle is straight. So on a weak signal, that might have something to do with it. But again, like I said, this is not a test, a shootout of which one is the best sensitivity or anything like that. Go watch Radio Jay Allen's website. He'll tell you. Like I said, I only know enough to be dangerous here. So we'll start down here. So it goes there's 550 AM. The AM's on the bottom, and it goes way below the AM band. So that's like 520 or 530.
So he
That's
received
570.
the death sentence. And that
Nice,
left Marshall
again,
Radley,
nice dial
Santa
alignment.
Claus.
I think that's 620. 660.
That it seems their financial advisors
Very
making more
nice
money
dial
than they
alignment.
are. Ask
Russell from
820.
5-Star Ford. Dane Miner from Freeman.
Again,
Toyota,
very nice
or
dial
Mike
alignment.
And we talk about
1080.
We're down off the way for it to warm up. It'll be nice and
1310.
toasty when it's all done.
Also
FanFlex.com,
simulcast on
raise your
96.7
hand
FM, which one we were
grabbing
listening to before.
And taking
And then I like to do my selectivity and sensitivity testing up here, starting at like 1400 and going up, at least in the Dallas market. That seems to be where I don't get a lot of RFI. And at night, it's really interesting to play with this range of the medium wave band. I'm going to face all the radios the same direction, straight back and forth. You heard him, 1400 AM. Here, how it got better.
I'm in Lincoln. We've got football and plenty of it on the college and pro front on this Saturday. There are 3 college football players.
They want him to take a pay cut.
And he can, he worked on Craig.
He won't go all the way down.
Weather station.
820,
ED treatment.
1080,
All that.
1310. So again, dial alignment on this one. Both of these dial alignment, very nice on both FM and AM. We'll notice that when we get to the other GE3. Okay? Let's keep that in mind. So they're both facing the same exact direction, and they're both in the same signal. It's all right. So I'm going to try to face them optimally. See, and then see if that makes a difference.
Today on ABC and the ESPN app, starting in New Eastern, South Dakota State, Dakota State, and then South Dakota and Montana State. As far as the pros, there are 2 critical AFC matchups. First at 1 Eastern, the Chiefs host the Texans.
All right. I'm just going to raise one volume and lower the other.
The AFC North with a victory. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Falcons are planning to finalize an end with Kirk Cousins before his bonus is due on March 17th.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen coming up Monday. Dan Orlovsky joins the show at 7:15 a.m. Eastern to recap the first
college football playoffs as well as react to Week 16 in the NFL.
So, again, this one sounds the best, but like I said, I just deoxed those controls. Possibly that has something to do with it. This it's not scratchy, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's got a weak capacitor. I also heard that a weak capacitor can make the audio weaker. And there's no way for me to know that. So let's try to just kind of do the same thing on this one. Let me move my chair over.
It's not just me decorating.
AM. All right. So we already know the FM dial alignment is not as good as the other two. All right.
MSRP. Prices
570.
and factory incentives. Offers
pretty good.
January 2nd.
620.
Okay. You need
660.
to know what to
pretty
do
good.
or have some.
It's not. Listen up.
2024
F-150. Escape. Explore.
Rogers on DFW's #1 traffic station, News Radio 1080 KRLD.
You heard him. 1080.
No longer.
Just required. See coupon for
1310.
She had just. I was starting this problem. The woman.
Starts tomorrow at 5. Post Game After. Brought to you by Miller Lite and Sports
So that's
Radio
1310.
96.7 and 1310.
For that reason, we could safely say that the presumption is founded on solid divine revelation evidence.
I can't get that 1400 station I was just listening to in the other ones. Let me optimize the direction, or at least based on what the other two radios liked.
Able. And the omission of the mention of Adam and Eve, I think, is understandable because they caused this great catastrophe.
Pretty sure.
1310.
Well, let's talk about that then. But now,
He goes 7-5. Then he goes 9-3 his second year. He goes
2-2
his third year.
Here, we almost completely lose it when we face it this way.
So these rivalries matter. And I'm not saying it's right.
And it's not fair. But when you're the head coach at Ohio State, I mean, he's lost
See
4
that?
straight.
Now it's facing straight. Facing straight.
These rivalries are. And look, Ryan Day's a phenomenal coach, but I agree with him. I think it's okay, right? She's fired. Now
Narrow.
out there. What is the answer? I think about the quarterback who gets his team.
All right, so now I put it on narrow and it seems to be better. So maybe on AM it's a wide narrow filter, and on FM it's a loudness control. Maybe. I'm just thinking out loud here.
But you know what? This is part of our sport. And Ryan's in a big boy ball.
Noticeably
We've
better.
all been there, and it's part of it.
So again, these are very simple tests, all right? And like I said, I'm not promoting and saying one radio is better than the other because, like I said, I don't know the history. Although, based on this test, in my simple sample of one semi-weak signal, 1400 AM, in the middle of the day, it's probably, I don't know, maybe it's 11 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Something like that, yeah. Oh, 10 o'clock. And I lost all track of time. Just been playing with radios all morning. What a great day. But anyway, I got no problem with any of these. All right. I kind of like this bandwidth loudness control. These radios have noticeably better FM dial alignment. The AM dial alignment on all three is very nice, especially for an inexpensive portable radio that's all plastic. I mean, you pick these things up, they creak, they move. You're not picking up a 1968 Grundig satellite. You definitely are not, okay? And you can tell. But the performance of these radios, I mean, it's better. On AM medium wave, these are better than a Grundig satellite. Any of them, with their own built-in ferrite antennas. And in order to tell the difference in medium wave between something like the 2 or even the 1 compared to the 3, you'd have to get some much weaker signals. And like I said, sit there and just keep twisting the radio, or maybe just be smart enough to know where every single signal is coming from so you automatically know which direction to turn it. In fact, just to show you that, I kind of thought I wanted to be interested in that. I bought a Lazy Susan, all right, that you can put down and you can put the radio on it and spin it. All right. Oh, look, mine just fell apart. Oh, shit, and the ball bearings are all over the damn floor. Cheap-ass Amazon garbage. All right. Well, that's so much for that. I can tell you this. I have compared AM medium wave, even FM. So here. I just got this radio. I did a video on it the other day. Very nice, very expensive radio. Totally, completely rebuilt by the guy in Indianapolis, Adele. It's working great. But on AM medium wave using the internal ferrite, and on FM using its whip, completely inferior to any of these three radios. Completely. So these radios have a purpose. Medium wave broadcast, FM broadcast, no extra antennas, nothing. You just pick it up by the handle, turn it on, go where you want to go, turn it on. Shit works. Okay. So, and they were built to a price point, right? So that's why they're just all plasticky and creaky and, you know, but that's what they are. That's what they were. But they work great. All of them do. And I wish I had the patience or the knowledge to be able to test them down to a gnat's ass iota of which one's better. It's easier to do that on shortwave radios when you hook them to a Wellbrook and you got 100 hertz tuning. Okay, it's a lot easier to do that stuff. But when you're using an analog dial, basically 2 aluminum pulleys and a piece of dental floss. Anyway, I think these radios are great, and like I said, I was happy to get all three. Like I said, they're not expensive, or at least they weren't. I have no idea what they are now. And there's probably guys that rebuilt these, you know, like this Adele guy in Indianapolis. Who knows? Maybe he'll rebuild one of these. But they seem to be working fine. Anyway, that's it. Just wanted to do a quick overview on the GE Super radios. And if your interest only lies in medium wave broadcast and FM broadcast, it'd be hard to get a better radio than one of these three. Literally, you could, you know, buy the best radio in the world and it won't perform better. Not on the ferrite antenna. All right, if you hooked it up to a Wellbrook, yeah, okay, yeah. Multiple bandwidths, all this kind of passband tuning, but you don't really use that on medium wave because medium wave has a signal every 10 kilohertz and that's it. But anyway, all right, go get you one. Go get you a GE Super radio. You will be happy that you did. And don't be scared of any of them. Don't be scared of a 3 just because you read on the internet that this one is inferior to the other ones. All right? And even though Radio J. Allen, who I respect immensely, says that this one is a half a star below either these two on medium wave broadcast, I'm not either smart enough or patient enough to be able to tell the difference. And I can hear everything I want to hear. So, so don't be scared of any of the 3 of them. All right, go get you one.